Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome into episode 111 of the Second One podcast. Joining you today is myself, Shiz. We have Brother Mo Snell. We have Shiz O'Brien, we'll explain later. And we have special guests, our great friend by way of New Jersey, now residing in St. Augustine, Florida, Brother Spy. Fellas, how y'all feeling today?
Feeling good.
Feeling good, man.
Spy, you wear your mask today, Spy?
I don't know. Don't even know
I
a man
did.
Florida.
Florida don't got masks.
Come on, man. Come on, stop.
Yeah, nah, it's snowing up here. It's
It must,
bad.
it must be wild to live in Florida and see like your neighborhood react to COVID and then see the rest of the world react to COVID. Like people are on TV with masks on, but nobody in Florida has water. Y'all like, yo, we're in a different world.
Yeah,
Man, I got no comment. Let's keep it moving.
no comment but COVID. So yeah, how this podcast works, we talk mostly about sports, hip hop, politics, and everything in between. We give it to you straight, raw, no chaser. And if we offend you, we apologize slightly. Usually, we have our taking a shot segment where we give a bold prediction about one of the topics I just named. But since we have a special guest here, and last week the taking a shot segment took about 50 minutes, we're going to bypass that and get straight into these topics. We're going to kick it off with the NFL. Week 15 is upon us. Tampa Bay Bucks off a nice win against the Minnesota Vikings last week. They will be playing the Atlanta Falcons. They are 5.5-point favorites. Snell, your team, your thoughts. Lead us off.
Listen, man, we're not to be trusted. The Atlanta Falcons are not to be trusted. So I'm going to say we get a win just hopefully off coaching, but that's it. We're not to be trusted. I don't trust Bruce Arians and what's going on. Him and Tom Brady were supposed to play golf. It got canceled. I can't trust what's going on down there.
It got canceled because of COVID, not because of them.
Listen, man, I don't know. Listen, if Tom Brady wants to play golf, you make it happen. That's how it works around there. So now we should win this game. But listen, man, it's a division game. They play each other a lot. They don't like each other. So what's it, 5? What was it, 5, 5.5?
5.5.
I think the Bucks should be able to take care of business and win the game. But luckily, I follow my own rules and I don't bet my own team. So do as you
agreed. I do not do that.
I'll probably bet that game.
Yeah, I can't bet, so yeah.
Yeah.
Can't bet.
Another horrible thing about Florida, like you got alligators.
You can't bet. I thought you said he had a gambling problem. I'm about to say what? I can't bet.
They got gators. They can't bet. Ain't no mass. It's just all bad down there. But now, yeah. So Bucks are 5.5-point road favorites. Falcons, I just don't trust them. They went on the road and let Anthony Lynn get a victory last week. There's no way. I mean, there is a way, but I don't see them beating the Bucks. Bucks need this game to, they don't want to get caught from behind in regards to the playoff race. So I think the Bucks will take care of business. I don't know if this is Matt Ryan's last few games as a Falcon. Major changes are coming for that team, but in regards to this game, I'll take the Bucks, and I'll probably take the points too. But got a few more days. We'll see. Spy, your thoughts.
Surprisingly, the Falcons play good at home. With that said, Bucks win. I think it would be close in the first half. After that, Tom Brady's just gonna be Tom Brady and win.
All right, fair enough. Taim, any closing thoughts, or let's move on?
No, I mean it's same thing. Like I said, I'm gonna bet the game. I'm gonna take the Bucks at the 5.5. I think what we saw last week is the beginning of their catching their second win, them getting in their stride. I think they'll be all right.
Yeah,
and it is the Falcons. They'll fuck it up.
Yeah, that's true. All right, moving on. The Cowboys coming off a nice victory, the Andy Dalton revenge game versus Cincinnati.
Stop.
Now we're home hosting Taheem's 49ers. 49ers are 3.5-point road favorites, which I found kind of interesting. This game,
trash.
I mean, y'all trash too without Jimmy G, but we'll break this game down. In regards to this game, I don't know, man. I don't expect the Cowboys to I don't know what to expect from them, period. Like Zeke looks stuck in mud. Half of that is because the line is all broken down. Also, he just seems disinterested. Tony Pollard seems to have a bit more burst. On the defensive side, we did cause 3 fumbles last week, but those were kind of fluky. One dude kind of ran into his own guy, fumble, and Alden Smith ran that back for a touchdown. A couple other plays were kind of like fluky, but I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if the Cowboys are going to play hard, but we're just so bad on defense that even if you put forth our best effort, we can still lose this game. As far as the 3.5, though, I do think the Cowboys find a way to cover that. Of course, I'm not going to bet it because it's my team, but I think this is an interesting game. If we allowed Nick Mullins to run up and down the field, I think Nolan should be fired on the spot. But I'll get into that later. But as far as this game, I think it's going to be a tight back and forth game, low scoring. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys found a way to win. Wouldn't be surprised if the 49ers won. I don't know. It's just a weird game. But of course, I'm going to be watching because I'm a fan. But yeah, Taheem, your team, your thoughts.
I think we cover. I mean, I don't think we blow y'all out. I just think y'all gonna get out coached. I think Shanahan is just gonna out coach y'all. When you look at the teams and the injuries, like the way that they're stacked up, it's pretty much the same. You know, if they weren't injured on paper, these are 2 really, 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 really good teams. I think you guys have the advantage at quarterback, but that's about it. But now that everybody is injured, it's going to be our pass rush isn't that good, but your offensive line isn't that good either. So that that might cancel it out. But like I said, I just think it's going to come down to coaching. And Shanahan is going to coach. He is going to show Mike McCartney what X's and O's are.
McCarthy. All right, moving on. Snell, your thoughts.
Yeah, man. I will probably take the 49ers. I don't know if last week was a good win. I took the Bengals last week because I just can't trust these Cowboys. So I would take the 49ers. I think they're just a better team right now. I don't think the Cowboys have much to play for. So I think if they're facing a real team, unlike the Bengals, they won't win. I think that's what we're seeing. I see half efforts coming from the Cowboys for the rest of the season. Business decisions.
Yeah. Zeke's questionable. Zeke's questionable,
in.
So who knows what's going to happen with that?
I think he'll play. He's questionable. I think he's going to fucking play.
Yeah. All right, Spy, your thoughts.
Well, this is a game the Cowboys got to win in order to make their playoff hopes alive. What are they, last place in the division?
Yes.
Sound about like what, a game though?
I think a game and a half.
So it's pretty. Yeah, since the Eagles have that tie, so they have the same amount of wins, but the Eagles have a tie.
I agree with Shiz O'Brien. I think Kyle Shanahan is going to outcoach Mike, but I just have a feeling that the Cowboys are going to pull it off by a field goal.
See, maybe we need to have you on more often. I like where your head's at.
You sound like Joe Budden. So you want yes men around you.
Oh wow!
Stop. All right, moving on. Spy, your team. We're Adam. We don't usually talk Titans football because it's just like a regional type of thing. But since you're on this week, we have the Detroit Lions coming into town to play Tennessee. Tennessee 10.5-point favorites. Matt Stafford is questionable to play. My opinion, I think Tennessee takes care of business, especially if Stafford doesn't play. But who knows? I mean, the Titans they're pretty predictable. Hand the ball off to Henry, and hopefully the defense can create a turnover or two, and that's it. Very easy game plan. AJ Brown's a pretty good receiver. Your offense, they work pretty efficiently, especially when Henry's going. So I think you guys take care of business, but your team, your thoughts.
Man, I don't know. I'm like Snell. I really don't trust the Titans. This is a game that they should win, but I can see them losing. I mean, they should have beat the Bengals. Was it week 5? And they lost to the Bengals by more than 10 points. I mean, Stafford is hurt. The center is hurt. I heard he fractured his throat, which I didn't know you could do.
Yeah,
But
that was crazy.
yeah, Henry should have a monster game, but it comes down to the defense. I see the spread is 10.5. I think Titans win by 7, but it should be a game that they should dominate, and I just don't think they can do it. I mean, there is a lot on the line as far as winning the division and having the playoff hopes, but this is a game that they should win. But I can see them losing. But I don't think they cover. I think they do 7.
All right, Snell, your thoughts.
I think the Titans win easy and they cover. Without Matt Patricia there, I think this is just another team you see guys making business decisions. I'm not jumping in front of Derek. I'm not jumping in front of Henry when I'm probably getting cut anyway, or I'm getting traded next season. There's no need for me to go out there risking my body for us to miss the playoffs, and there's nothing at stake. So I think this is a game again of business decisions. And listen, let that man run free. If we can't all get to him at one time, let him go. That's what I think is going to be. And I think the Titans will win pretty easily. I don't see any motivation for the Lions to go out and try to win this game.
By how many points do you think?
I think it gets ugly.
Yeah,
I think it gets real. I think it gets real ugly. So,
all right, Saeem, your thoughts.
Yeah, I think the Titans win easily. I think they cover.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We have the JETE Jets on the road visiting the Los Angeles Rams. Rams a crazy but understandable 16.5-point favorite. They cover. That's all I got. Just tell your thoughts.
Yeah, I said the same. I said the same thing. I thought because I think Seattle was 16.5, right? Last week.
No, they were 13.5.
13.
Oh, okay.
I think it got up higher than that. I think it went up maybe.
Well, yeah, I don't think it ever got to this number though. It started off at 13. It started off at 14, and I think it got bet down to 13.5, and then it might have got up to like 14.5, 15. But this opened at 17. So
oh wow, yeah, I thought that they had a better chance last week of keeping it closer with Seattle because their defense is so poor. But this week they got no shot. They might have like forget points. They might have like under 100 yards scrimmage.
yeah.
Like it may get into that scenario. Like yeah, we literally can't move the ball.
I mean, if it gets that bad, do you fire Gates on the spot?
No,
I mean,
if you made it this far, just
if you didn't fire him by now, there's no point. There's no.
Yeah, and Darnold better. That mono came back, coach. Like that would be my mono.
Yeah, I would
that mono was back because Aaron Donald and those boys coming after me. Like, and I'm trying to make sure I'm healthy for next season on a new roster. I'm not dying for y'all. I'm out.
Exactly.
So, Taib, any thoughts on this game?
Nah, I mean, I think they cover. That's wild. It's wild. I think they cover though.
Yeah. All right, moving on. The Philadelphia Eagles coming off a crazy win over the New Orleans Saints. They are on the road visiting the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals 6.5-point favorites. Interesting game. The Cardinals get a week of game film on Jalen Hurts. Eagles, on a high because they were able to get a victory. I'm not sure how, that locker room is. I know there's still a bunch of people that are in full support of Wentz. Jalen Hurts did get the victory, though. They seem to be more enthusiastic. The Cardinals are coming off a nice road victory at the Giants. Welcome back to the reality, Giants fans. Interesting game. This is a game I'm not going to bet. I do think the Cardinals find a way to win, but as far as the 6.5, if I was forced to pick a side, I think the Eagles find a way to cover that number. But I'm not going to bet it. But interesting game to watch. Taheem, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. Like you said, you get another week of film on Hurts. I want to say I think the Cardinals bring that Philadelphia team down from their high, and I think they give them the ass whipping they should have got last week.
All right, moving on. Snell, your thoughts?
Yeah, I would probably take the Cardinals like a week of film on. To be honest, I still wasn't really impressed by Jalen Hurts. I just don't think the Saints were prepared for for his speed and how fast he actually was. Even though they practiced against Taysom Hill, somehow they weren't prepared for that game. So I think the Cardinals, they're in a bit more of they need to win to kind of try to stay in that playoff hunt, as opposed to the Saints who are kind of just waiting to get Drew Brees back. So I think the Cardinals end up winning that game, and I think Jalen Hurts takes a step back from last week.
All right, Spy, your thoughts.
To me, it all depends on how healthy Kyler Murray is. If he still have the same shoulder problem, it's going to be a lot closer game. But I do agree with everybody else saying that I think the Cardinals are going to win. Jalen Hurts, I think he will come back to reality. The game plan was kind of simple, but it was effective, and the Saints were kind of off, caught off guard. But I think the Cardinals win and cover.
All right, moving on. We have the Cleveland Browns off a heartbreaking loss, visiting the New York Giants. This game was flexed into Sunday night. They took the Cowboys and 49ers off, which is, I understand it because of the playoff implications, but ratings wise,
y'all suck.
We were the Cowboys were bad, but the ratings, I'm pretty sure the ratings is still
the ratings would have been higher.
But I respect the integrity. It's a game that has playoff implications, even though I'm not sure with the Giants anymore, because the Giants, they have the Browns. Then next week they have the Ravens, and then they close with Dallas. So I think if Washington can just get one more victory, they are probably in. Or actually, I'm sorry, because the Giants beat them twice, so they have the tiebreaker. So it's getting kind of shaky. Like, the Giants need this game 100%. The Browns, they still have an opportunity to win that division, so they're going to be motivated, and they're trying to, avenge that loss from last week against the Ravens. The line is Browns 4.5-point road favorites. I think they find a way to cover. I just don't trust. Like, Daniel Jones is injured, so you're going to try out Colt McCoy. That's not good. I don't know. Sunday Night Football, though, we'll see if Colt McCoy is ready for the bright lights again in his career. But yeah, I would be shocked if the Giants found a way to win this game. But as far as covering, coin flip. But if I had to pick a side, I would choose the Browns to cover as well. Snell, your thoughts?
Yeah, man. Listen, you know who I'm going with. Give me the Giants. Give me the Giants in a way. I think, like I said, I think Colt McCoy, I think he kind of helps it out, because I think he simplifies the game of, listen, we got to play field position football from the jump. Like he can't make plays, so let's play field position football.
He's a game manager.
Yeah, so I think when you have that mindset, almost you can say that for the Eagles as well. Also, when you have that mindset of, hey, we got to play like sound football, I think it helps the team, because you're not out here doing these dumb analytic plays and yeah, like the analytics say go for it. It's like, yo, punt the ball, like play field position football. So I think that Colt McCoy helps in that way of, the Giants are going to try to run this thing, try to move the ball, keep the offense real simple, and let the defense work. When you have Daniel Jones out there, for whatever reason, they start going for it on fourth down when they don't need to. They just get more risky. So and your team's still not that good. Like, I don't know why teams do that. So I think Colt McCoy actually helps them out a little bit. And the Browns they're just the Browns. They lose how they lost last week. Just stupid ways to lose again.
Stupid.
Yeah. All right, Spy, your thoughts?
I like what Snell said about Colt McCoy, which is true, but give me the Browns defense, man. Myles Garrett should have a big game. And even though I don't like Baker's playing a lot better than he did last year. And I don't see the Giants defense stopping them that many times. I think Baker goes off again.
See, the thing about the Browns, their pass rush is cool, but their secondary is not good at all.
They got a lot of injuries, though.
Yeah, but those guys, they're not going to be available Sunday night, right?
Yeah, but who on the Giants offense is going to scare you, though?
Wayne Gallman don't scare you? Oh, no, it's playing. I get what you're saying. I don't think the Giants are going to be able to really do too much. But again, like, the Browns are the Browns. Like, they played their hearts out against the Ravens and lost, they might come out a little flat, even though they need to win this game. So it's going to be an interesting game. Like I said, Sunday Night Football flexed in. Interesting game to watch. Taheem, any thoughts on this game?
No, I mean, I think Browns win. I think they cover too.
All right, moving on. A game we didn't list this game, but this is probably it's potentially to be the best game of the week. We have the Chiefs visiting the Saints. Saints 2.5-point home underdogs. Taysom Hill got a little taste of reality last week on the road against the Eagles. This week, Saints, even though they're playing a backup, they're still pretty tough at home. Kansas City, they're still winning a bunch of games, but they're winning kind of ugly. Like the Dolphins had an opportunity to win that game at some point in time. With this game, another road game against a tough opponent, I expect the Chiefs to win, but, could get a little shaky at times for the Chiefs because that defense is so good for the Saints. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Taheem, I'll start with you.
I think it's going to be a really good game. I think the Chiefs win, though. I think the Saints put up a good fight because they're going to try to get Breeze in. But I still think Breeze is done, man. You can't be 45 years old, crack 3 ribs, and come back and play football. I just think at that point you're fucking done. And then Taysom Hill, I think Sean Payton believes in him a little too much. I think he thinks he's way too much than what he really is. And that's not to say anything about the Chiefs defense, because Chiefs defense isn't that great either. But I just think Patrick Mahomes can just out fucking score you. I think he can just come out with all those weapons and just, run up and down the field on you. So I think the Chiefs win.
All right, Spy, your thoughts.
Yeah, I agree with Taheem. I think what happened last week against the Dolphins, it ain't gonna happen again. I think Andy Reid's gonna simplify the offense, and you're probably gonna see like Clyde's Edward-Helaire go off again, like he did against the Bills. I think they're gonna run the ball a lot and then do a lot of play action and catch the Saints sleeping.
All right, Chanel, your thoughts.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think the Saints. The only reason why I think the Saints might can win the game is because I think Kansas City has, because they're in first now, and I think the Steelers look awful. So
yeah, they look one and done-ish.
Yeah, so they may slack off a little bit here. This is a week they may just slack off and take a loss to the Saints. Then I think they finish with the Falcons and the Chargers. So this is the only reason why I can see them losing is just them slacking off because they're in first and they kind of have a game to play with. So that's the only reason why I can kind of see the Saints possibly pulling this out. But if they come out and try, this thing is over. This thing's over fast.
Yeah.
The Saints offense is really not. I think what you saw against the Eagles is okay. This can be stopped. It's easy to stop Taysom Hill, and I think teams have figured that out, and they can just roll on top of them. So the Saints are just trying to get to Drew Brees also. So I think they're one of those teams are just like, hey, let's just get Drew Brees back. I'm not out here running across the middle for Taysom Hill to throw inaccurate passes. That's not what it's about. But
yeah,
I think the Saints keep it close, but the Chiefs should win.
Yeah. All right. Well, round of applause for NFL Week 15. But sticking with football, we have a topic here that we're going to try to do for all teams in football as we move close to the playoffs and teams start getting eliminated. We're going to play, the role of GM, and we're going to start with our own teams. So first on the docket, the San Francisco 49ers. They are projected to have $21 million in cap space next season. Taheem, you are the GM. What is the great plan, sir, to get you back to the promised land?
All right, in 3 moves, basically what we do is we re-signed Trent Williams, that left tackle. He's out there. He's amazing. In the draft, we make sure we get a corner because our corners are aging. And then we have to go out and sign a free agent wide receiver. I think those are the 3 moves we need to make.
Okay, I like it.
The fuck you laughing at, Spy?
I mean, you have a lot of receivers to begin with. Like, who do you want?
No, we don't have a lot of receivers. We have guys out there that play the position, but Kendrick Bourne is not good. Debo Samuels is good, but he gets hurt. And then you got the rookie we had,
Brandon
Ayuk, who's really good too. So when you think about it, we only have one consistent wide receiver right now.
What about your quarterback?
I mean, if we got we paid G-String Jimmy a lot of money, man. I don't know if we got to get a built-in stripper pole and get some females in there for him, get him excited for these games. I don't know what, but I think at this point we have to, unless we can get a Wentz on the low,
Darnold
on the low. Other than that, I think we got to ride with Jimmy one more year because you don't want to trade too much stock to get up to get Fields or Trevor Lawrence because you'd have to wait. You have to move up way too much. And the only other quarterback besides that, because you got Trevor Lawrence and then you got 2 Fields, but it's still a huge drop off between those two. And then when you get Fields, it's a huge drop off between who's the other guy? Trey Lance. Yeah. And then after that, it's just like you got no more quarterbacks after that. You got some, you at that point you're drafting backups. Literally, you're drafting backups.
Well, Spy is a huge Florida fan. So, do you have a case to make for Kyle Trask?
Trask, that's his name, Trask.
Yeah,
Trask his ass to the CFL.
No, Kyle Trask would be a day 2 quarterback.
Day 2.
I think the order, and I think Snell agree with me. It'll go Lawrence, Fields, Trey Lance. It's a toss between Zach Wilson and Mac Jones, and then Kyle Trask.
I don't know. I think Trask can go before he's that second. I think he's in that second tier. I think you have you got Trevor Lawrence and you got Fields. Then I think everything else is just a fit, kind of a style fit.
I agree with that.
Like if you put like if you put like a Trask with a good team, like the 49ers are a good team. So it's not like you going out there and you're trying to revive the Jets. That's a whole different story. Like a Kyle Trask
out there.
Yeah, like Kyle Trask can help you if you like, we already got an offensive line. We already have same thing. Like if any of those guys were to go to like the Colts are already established. You just need to go out there and be alive. Just be better than Phillip Rivers. Like you don't have to be the best quarterback in the NFL. You just can't like have a little mobility and be accurate, and you're better than Phillip Rivers. Like that's all you're looking for. So if any of those young guys, those like you said, those day 2 quarterbacks or that second tier, go to a team that is all right, I think they'll be okay. But if they got to go to the Jets, the Lions, or like the Jags, this thing's over. Get them out of it. They're not saving you.
Yeah. All right, well, round of applause for the 49ers being fixed this offseason. All right, moving on to my Dallas Cowboys. Here is my proposal on how to fix this team.
Brian. He's gonna go All
right, so first things first. Week 17.
Why you look so sad?
Week 17. Nah, it's just tough. Week 17. After we play and most likely lose to the New York Giants, when the clock strikes 000, Mike Nolan, you're fired. Plain and simple. I don't care how you get back. You are not flying on this private jet back home. You're not getting on a team plane. Here's $100. Find your way back home. Thank you for your services. See you later. That's number 1. Number 2. Pains me to do this, but Tyron Smith, he gets waived. We can save $5.5 million if we waive him after the end of this year. He's been injury prone for the past few years, and I just think his time is up. He's missed pretty much the entire season this year. You might have played 1 or 2 games. I think his time is up, so we waive him and we use one of our top picks. We're probably going to land in the top 5, top 6. And we draft an old lineman. I think Sewell from Oregon will probably be gone. So maybe we take Slater from Northwestern, draft a future for that old line and use that spare money on the defensive side because the defense is so bad.
That's 4 moves, but all right.
I'm going a little overtime here.
Is that fucking thing?
So in addition to Mike Nolan being fired, I have his replacement. I think we should go out and
Chris
get this.
Rasheed.
Huh?
Chris Rasheed.
No.
He's gonna say Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn.
I knew it.
Bring in Dan Quinn. And maybe bring in Chris Richard. So, they work together back in Seattle. So maybe bring him back in too. I think Dan Quinn, he needed to change the scenery. He's not a head coach. He's more of a coordinator. So our defense needs to be coordinated in the best possible way. So bring him in and let's get back on track. Let's not even be good. Let's just be able to line up properly. Like we can't even do that. And then lastly, we have to get this Dak contract situated, man. You guys know my thoughts. I want him at a discount. He wants top money. We have to find a way to get to a medium. We cannot allow him to go on the franchise tag again because that's going to be $37 million directly onto the cap. If we're able to, sign up for multiple years, we're able to spread out some of that money. We'll have more cap flexibility. But at the end of the day, we have to get Dak signed long term. I've taken a lot of criticism over my Andy Dalton plan and my Derek Carr plan and my Sam Darnold plan. And you know what? I had to look myself into the mirror. I was like, I can't be told wrong by 30 people and still think I'm right. So maybe I'm wrong.
Didn't you also say you want Nate Peterman or no?
No, that. That's just crossing the line. But I can't be told that I'm wrong. I can't be told that I'm wrong by 30 people and still think that I'm right. That's just ignorance. So we have to get Dak signed. It would pain me to pay him $40 million plus because I already know we've seen with Deshaun Watson, he got his money, but the team is like falling apart because they have no more money.
That's a different case.
That's Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien, man.
So one it's because I got to stop you from doing this because you're doing this. You keep doing this. You keep doing this Dak Deshaun comparison.
Yeah, he does a lot. Two different
Which
situations.
one key thing happened to Deshaun? You gave away his best wide receiver to get an aging running back that you could that doesn't
that was
matter.
horrible.
It doesn't even the running back doesn't even matter in Houston.
They gave away a pick too, didn't they?
Yeah, they gave away a bunch.
Yeah,
but
they also have no money to fix their defense either. Like JJ Watt is
because
done.
that's Bill O'Brien. Because Bill O'Brien made a mistake when he traded for Tunso. He never signed him to the offseason.
Exactly. So regardless.
Okay,
let's get back to the Dak Deshaun Watson. Okay. You're talking about Deshaun Watson when you took away, you're talking about all right. You're saying, imagine signing Dak, getting rid of Amari Cooper, and then bringing in Randall Cobb. That's what happened. You took away his best option and then filled it with an old veteran receiver and asking him to produce.
I have a question because in a separate group chat that me, Charles, and Saheem are in, Saheem brought up the idea of getting rid of Amari Cooper and Zeke. Do you care to elaborate on that, Saheem?
Yeah, so you give those guys up, you save money, and you get picks, and you fill that defense up. Pollard is playing really good right now, and I feel like you can go out and you can even draft. Backs come a dime a dozen. It's super hard to hit on that great back. So what you do is you stay with Pollard, and you can either get another free agent. I know Matt Breeder's going to be out there. He's super fast. He's going to be a free agent. You can sign him, or you can wait till later rounds. What the fuck you laughing at, Spy?
Because I'm looking at shit. That's why.
Matt Breida. Come on, man.
He's super fast. He can play ball.
Well, Ty, let me ask you a question. What round of picks you think you can get for a Zeke?
Oh, right now, see, if they did it early on in the season, they could have definitely got a 1 and a 2.
I think
now they're probably going to get a later 2 and a 3 for him. If they even get the 2, they might get 2 3s or something like that. Amari Cooper, you could probably still get a 2 for it to the right team. It's always going to be situational to the right team to see how much you can get. But realistically, I think you can only get a 2 and maybe like a 4 for Zeke. And for Amari, you probably get like a 2 and a 3.
I think you can get a 1. I think so
For
right now
Amari or Zeke?
for Zeke. I
Really?
think you can, yeah. I think
I just think
I don't think so.
Played up
so. I think
he's
so.
super
Right.
fat.
So right
Got
now,
a tattoo on his stomach. He got a what's that? A nose ring that hangs out his face.
regardless of all that, right now, if you want to put Zeke on the Miami Dolphins, that puts them over the top. So if you have a team like that, like the Dolphins, where you have the money, you have your quarterback on a rookie contract, it's worth it to take Zeke for 2, maybe 3 years and then be done with them because you can afford to do it. So I think if you can find a team like that, you can get the 1 because the ones of their 1 pick will be a late round pick. So they're not going to get Zeke with the 22nd pick.
You talking about the Dolphins?
Yeah, the Dolphins.
Dolphins got 2 picks next year. They got Texans pick.
That's what I'm saying. So if you have a team like the Dolphins who have the money, they have the picks, you get Zeke. If you put the Dolphins on Zeke right now, they're if not winning the division, they're closer than they are with the Bills for that division, for sure.
Yeah.
So I think you can get a 1 from them. I think you can get a 1 from them.
And I do think some of this is the mental part for Zeke too. I don't think he's in the game like mentally. You know what I mean? I think he knows that they're losing. I just think he is not putting out that extreme effort. But yeah, I think you guys could do a lot if you move off of Amari, who's not producing, and the same thing with Zeke.
Amari is producing. He has 80 receptions, which is 10th best in the league, with Andy Dalton.
10
with a backup. But going back to Dak real fast. Okay, so we talked about Deshaun. What about Carson Wentz? They came into the season being compared like 1 week is Carson. One week Carson was better. The next week Dak is better.
Why do you keep comparing Carson Wentz with Dak?
I'm trying to compare these quarterbacks that have been paid, and it's been problematic. That's my problem.
You don't want to see a black man prosper.
Okay. I'm trying to tell you that when you're paying so even with golf, like their team is really good. They're being golf is being carried. He's not carrying that team at all. And
I think
golf is being babied by Sean McVay. Sean McVay's telling him what to do.
He's being babied because he's not that good.
No, I think it's the situation. Like you can't, and it's all situational, man. Like the same thing. Like, all right, look at Tom Brady leaving the Patriots. Like people say, oh, he looks totally different. It's just the system, man. It's like the coach is the guy who's creating a plan for the team, and he's making that quarterback fit in his system, and that's why things are changing. That's why things look so different. Like if golf was with the Eagles, I think Doug Peterson would fuck his career up too. Like Doug Peterson will fuck anybody's career up. I think it's just that head coach
and Nick Foles
put in, huh?
Yeah, won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. That you can never take that away.
No, you can't. I think they got lucky. I think the guy was taking a nap and they slipped in.
Well, so to close this out, there's issues with Watson in the Texans. There's issues with Wentz in the Eagles. Goff, he is succeeding, but he is literally being carried by that team. We need to check their books. They got a lot of players signed to a lot of money. I'm not sure how they're doing it. That's what we need to look into. That's my fear with Dak, because while Dak is very good, he's not like a top 5. He's not like a Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers.
I think Dak can be a Russell Wilson if you give him the right pieces. You got Mike McCarthy out there that's messing up 4th downs.
Come on, man. I'm a Cowboy fan, but Russell is just like he's probably going to be first ballot. Dak, no.
Yeah, he probably will be.
So my issue is if you don't have a top flight quarterback like Wilson, Mahomes, or Rodgers, and you pay a top 10 quarterback a top 3 salary, you leave yourself open to having a bad roster, which is what we're seeing across the league with some of these younger quarterbacks. That's my problem.
You still gotta stop comparing with Deshaun
because
that's totally different, man.
But what about Wentz?
What about him?
That's another bad compare. Look at Wentz. First off, back to what has Wentz done? Like, honestly, to you, Shiz, what has Wentz done in his career?
Well, he had the 1 year where he was in the MVP race, like we discussed last week, and he was able to win the division. He was able to win the division last year. Dak had a way better roster, and he was still able to beat him.
So they won the division last year. What did they do in the playoffs?
They lost the first round.
Okay, all right.
But they still beat the Cowboys to get to the playoffs, though.
And before it wasn't Dak's fault. It was Jason Garrett's fault. Now Jason Garrett is gone. So now it's Dak's fault.
Hey, I'm just saying. What I'm looking at is that we have young quarterbacks with these huge contracts, and then we can go to older quarterbacks. Look at Detroit. Look at Atlanta. These quarterbacks have been paid.
You can say that, but
on the MVP though.
You can say
look at pay him.
You can say look at the Chiefs. You can say look at the Steelers. You can say look at did Allen get paid yet? No, right?
Who?
Allen. Josh Allen. He didn't.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
No.
But when he gets paid, he's going to get paid a lot, and that team I think is still going to be good. You
don't know that though. You don't know.
I said I think you have teams with quarterbacks that are getting paid, and they are still good. Drew Brees gets paid.
He's first ballot Hall. You talk about first ballot Hall of Famers. I'm talking about Dak. Like it's a different tier.
Faith in the black man is what you got to do.
Okay.
I'm gonna call up Louis Farrakhan and tell him to have a sit down with you.
All right. We're still in week 15. We'll have plenty of time to revisit this, but that is my plan for the Cowboys for the time being. We'll see what happens. Moving on. The Tampa Bay Bucks projected to have $32 million in cap space. Snell, your team, your thoughts.
This is easy. We only need one move. Take all that money, take every nickel you got, and try to get that Jalen Ramsey. That's all you try to do. And if you can't get him, go into the NFL draft.
He's already been paid though. He just got paid.
He got his contract? Oh, then never mind.
Yeah.
Then you go get Richard Sherman and you go to the draft. That's it.
Yeah, because Richard Sherman would be a free agent, but I don't think you can get him away from the 49ers.
No,
Richard's not coming back next year.
He's not coming back.
Richard might be done.
No, we need somebody that understands defense. We have our secondary is just
and when you think about it, like Richard Sherman, athletically, he is not up to par, but he just understands defenses. He
understands the game.
Yeah. Just give me somebody that's knowledgeable. That's all I want. Just give me anyone in the secondary that's knowledgeable. That's all I'm asking.
It's a couple free agent corners that you can get out there besides him. But yeah, they lock Ramsey's ass up.
Oh no, that's it. That was the only move.
I think Marcus Peters. I think he's better your team, like his person.
No, he's too much of a gambler.
Yeah, that's not knowledgeable. That's not knowledgeable.
He's playing Russian roulette every
day. Yeah. He should stay in Baltimore. That's it. That's his style fit. Like, yo, I'm just out here trying stuff. Like that's his style fit. But nah, give me somebody that knows the game. Go get me Richard Sherman. Listen, man, go get my man Earl.
I'm about to say, get that Earl Thomas.
Yo. I was just thinking about that today. Earl really has not been signed he must be like the worst human being on earth, like for him not to be signed.
It's got to be something bad. Like he's got to be looking at something real. Like Earl's looking at 15. Like not 15 game, like 15 years of prison time. Like we're not signing. Yeah, like so he's looking at something bad.
Because the side of the highway, like
yeah, like if somebody would have gave him a shot, he's too talented unless it's something major.
Yeah, if Dallas ain't give you a shot, if old Jerry ain't come calling, you's going to jail. Something is wrong.
Yeah,
but real quick, Spot, before you go back to Dak real fast. Hold on. so I'm looking. Tennessee is a perfect example. You guys signed Tannehill to a very team-friendly deal, like $28 million per year. Would you rather have Tannehill at that number or Dak at 40?
That's a stupid question.
Why is it? Yeah,
because
I'm using a middle of the road quarterback comparison as opposed to paying Dak the $40 million. I just want to hear Spy's thoughts on this.
Well, this goes back to what Taheem said, though. I don't think Dak would fit in the Titans' offense, though. We're running, we're play action. That's not Dak, though.
Yeah, exactly.
So therefore, my answer would be Ryan Tannehill. Nothing against Dak.
Very, very safe response. But okay.
Dallas offense is set up for $40 million.
Yeah, I think Dak could run that offense very, very easily. But then you're just taking the ball out of his hands, which is what you want to have him for.
That's not optimal.
Yeah, you're not getting the most out of him.
Exactly.
Like,
okay.
So it doesn't.
This is why in that group chat we call Shiz O'Brien, because he's out here making wild ass comparisons, trying to pick up the middle linebacker. Like, yo,
you don't even know the Cowboys coach's name. Please be quiet.
Because I don't care about him.
All right. So moving on. Titans are projected to have $10 million in cap space next season. Pretty much a lot of your guys are signed long term, but Spy, your team, your thoughts. How do you guys get better?
Just one move that does not affect the salary cap. Hire a damn defensive coordinator. That's all I want. That's all I need. That's all I want.
Y'all should go take Dan Quinn. Take him from the Cowboys.
Doesn't matter who.
Dan Quinn be a solid hire.
Yeah, he's going to be out there.
Well, Giants run a 3-4 defense, and Dan Quinn's more of a 4-3 hybrid, so I won't work.
I don't like that 3-4. I don't like having 3 down linemen and then having 4 linebackers. I don't know. I guess it's old school. I just never like that look.
It's just the fact that it's hard for the lineman to pick up a blitz to see who's blitzing as far as a linebacker.
Mm-hmm. And then, you might get a linebacker out there on the edge, and he has to cover the slot guy.
That is true.
Yeah, 3-4. It's interesting to see coaches using 3-4 versus 4-3.
This is a weird thing.
Well, whatchamacall will be available now? Go get Matt. He's
Matt Patricia. Yeah. He runs a 3-4 too, I think.
Yeah. He's from the Bill Belichick tree. He knows it. He might
need a year off. I don't know.
I think he's a solid defensive coordinator.
I think the whole running of the team is overwhelming.
Yeah. Offense, I think he's just out like he's basically
like what?
He's basically Brady Hope when it comes to offense. like no headset. Like, hey. Yeah, just like
Parker in his nose, like yo.
Yeah, I think offensively he just didn't understand. Like he just has no time management skills. Just doesn't know anything when it comes to offense. But defense, I think he's solid.
Yeah. I mean, he did a lot with those Patriots defenses that had.
Bill did a lot.
Yeah, Bill. Like I said, on offense, he doesn't know anything. That was the issue of like, yo, we're up. We should be running the ball. He's like, nah. Let Matt Stafford call all the plays, and he's calling pass. It's just that's a mess. So
all right, moving on. So real quick answer: who is your favorite to win the MVP this season? I'll go first. I think they're going to give it to Aaron Rodgers, just because, like, he came into the year. People was questioning like if he was going to get replaced, if he was going to get traded. He's come out with a vengeance. He's looked great. Of course, you could go Mahomes too, but I just think the story would be better if Rodgers was able to win it. Being at his age and being in the situation that he is, I think it's going to trend more towards Rodgers winning it. Snell, I'll go to you next.
Yeah, I think Rodgers got it easy. I would have said it was definitely Russell, and then they had those couple weeks of him just slacking off. So I think Aaron Rodgers gets it. Also, the NFL is just about parity, so they don't want you don't want Mahomes to keep winning it every time. You got to give it to somebody else, so Mahomes could get it again. So I think Rodgers gets it this year.
All right, Taheem, your thoughts.
Piggyback off what Mo said, the parity, like I hate that the NFL does that. I look at it the same way as the Hall of Fame. Like they're just letting motherfuckers in. Like Patrick Mahomes needs to get that MVP. Like it's not his fault that he played out of his mind the year that he won the MVP and set the bar so high. And now it's just like, oh man, you can't give it to him again. No, look at his numbers compared to Rodgers. Like who's better? I would say it would be Patrick Mahomes. And then you got to look at other guys too. Like if you want to say, all right, let's not do the parity. Well, then look at people outside of the quarterback position. You got Travis Kelce has the most receiving yards. And he's a tight end. Like that's crazy. And then you got Derrick Henry and you got Dalvin Cook who are just running. They're putting up 200, 150-yard rushing games. Like, I don't think the NFL should just give it to the feel-good story or who they feel that, they should get it. Because then I think you fall into the same realms as the T.O. thing. Like, they held T.O. out of the Hall of Fame when his numbers clearly prove he should have been a first round. He should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like, I hate when the NFL does that because they have so much control over basically controlling the narrative and making it not about numbers and your actual skill and who you go up against. Like, maybe the MVP should be voted by the people that are actually on the field playing. Like, yo, this guy's an MVP, that guy's an MVP, not the general managers and the owners and and the sportscasters and all these other people.
So, Spy, before you go, I got the statistics loaded up now. So, 2020, Patrick Mahomes, he's completing 68.4% of his passes. He has thrown for 4,208 yards and a total of 33 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers, he's completing 69.6% of his passes. He's thrown for 3,685 yards, but he's thrown for 39 touchdowns. So he might can hit 50, and that would be crazy. But I don't think it'd be like a pity party if Rodgers won. The stats are there, so I think it's going to be a coin flip. I know the Chiefs are 15-1. I mean, not 15. They're trending towards 15-1. The Packers have lost a few more games than that, but I don't think like it would be an outrage if Rodgers won just because of the amount of touchdowns that he has. But
and I also don't like, and this is just a personal opinion. Maybe this should not be included in the selecting of the Hall of Fame, but I don't like Aaron Rodgers' attitude too. Like, I don't. I just think he's an arrogant. I don't want to say a piece of shit because that's bad. I just think he's an arrogant person. And if you look at that Packers team, when they're losing, they lose. Like, Aaron Rodgers is not up getting people, like, come on, man, God, we got this, not talking to people's ear. He's not corralling the troops. Like, Patrick Mahomes is doing that. Like, throughout the entire game, if they're losing or if they're winning, I just think he's more of a role model citizen than Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers is stuck in his own little world.
But you can't. I don't think you can.
But I said I don't. That probably shouldn't be
because
of MVP.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because it's with T.O. he wasn't liked and
by the media. I think that's the difference.
The media.
T.O. wasn't liked by the media. I think Aaron Rodgers is liked by the media because I don't think he like you never hear like Aaron Rodgers not doing interviews or not doing anything like that.
Yeah, he doesn't have like a weekly talk show. I mean, a radio show.
I think so.
Yeah, he's on something.
Yeah. So I think it's a little bit different. I think he isn't. I don't think he's an. I just think he's weird. Like, he's just like a weird dude. Like,
yeah, his family don't even like him, so it is kind of strange.
We can't. This is 2000. About to be 2021. We can't condone weird people.
Listen, man, he's just a weird dude. I think his teammates like him. He's just weird. Like yo, let's go.
But I mean, it's just like
let's go to the movies, and he's just like, nah, let's cut the grass. Like, what? Like,
cut grass.
Like I just think he's just a weird dude. So,
in the team atmosphere, I just feel like you can't be weird. You have to be that guy that comes into the locker room or comes in at halftime. If you guys are down by 10, that are like, yo, we're gonna go out here and win this game. Like Lamar Jackson, like I'm not saying he's MVP, but his performance that last game was MVP-ish. Like, that was an MVP performance. Like, he was not letting that team lose. Like, he was running the ball. He was doing whatever he had to do. He had to go take that dump. He took that dump, came back out, and threw a touchdown. Like that's MVP. Aaron Rodgers, when he gets down, I think he gets in his feelings. And then he's like, oh, it's not necessarily my fault. It's everybody else's fault. He doesn't go to talk to anybody. He doesn't try to, make the situation better. He's just, being weird.
All right. Spy, who's your MVP?
Derrick Henry.
So my only knock.
I'm dead serious.
I think Derrick Henry has a little.
I'm going to tell you this. I actually had to pull up his stats. Right now, he's at 14 touchdowns, over 1,500 yards rushing. The next 3 games are against Detroit, Green Bay, and the Texans.
He's going to grind another 1,000.
Yep.
Yeah. I think
he has a chance to hit that 2,000 mile that marker.
Yeah, I think if he hits that 2,000 mark, I don't think they do that because I don't think they need to. But if they're really trying to make a push for him, if the team is really trying to make a push for him to get MVP, he'll definitely get the 2,000 yards. I think they're more worried about getting to the playoffs whole. So I don't think they're going to push him. But I can definitely see him.
I don't think they're going to push him. It's the fact that that's how they're going to have to win. In order to beat Green Bay and beat Aaron Rodgers, you're going to have to run the ball and keep Aaron Rodgers on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
And Green Bay's defense is horrible against the run.
It's true.
They've been horrible against the run.
They can, like I said, if he hits that 2,000 yard mark, I think you can give it to him. I wouldn't be shocked if he got it, especially doing it.
I wouldn't either.
Back to back seasons like that. Like I can definitely see him win. Again, it's about parity. So the same way I'm saying like Aaron Rodgers will win it so that they don't give it to Mahomes. I can see them letting a running back win it, so it's not always a quarterback. Like I can see that happening as well. So I can see Henry winning it if he gets over 2,000 yards, without doubt.
What about this? What if they take the MVP away and break it up, and they make it a quarterback MVP, running back MVP, lineman MVP, something like that?
So every position they're not going to do it this year, but maybe
they have their best. Well, they have the best, like the best position value. Like they have that, like the best players at each position. Yeah, they have that.
Okay, because I know you get the rushing title, you get the receiving title, passing title outside of the MVP, but I'm just saying, you know, it would be like, so you take all the quarterbacks, accumulation of the stats, who was the MVP quarterbacks, who was the MVP alignment, who was, you know what I mean, like that.
Yeah, well, they definitely have that in college, but NFL, I just think it's like offensive player of the year, in NFL MVP. Yeah, I don't think they have specific awards for like positions.
The Russian title.
Yeah, I think they give you
the title.
They got the Russian title, receiving title.
Last year, Derrick Henry won it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Russian title is like best running back, and I think that's the unofficial.
No, I think the Russian title, you just gotta have the most yards.
Yeah, actually, it is the most yards.
Yards, yeah.
I don't know. I think you get like a ribbon, just like best. Like you don't get much. Like, best running back. Here's a ribbon.
It might fall into the like you're just giving too many awards away, and then you start putting that shit in contracts. Like, listen, if I get running back MVP, I need an extra $5 million.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We have Monday Night Football commentator Louis Riddick interviewing for a few GM jobs. He's scheduled to interview, or he has interviewed with the Texans already, and he will be interviewing with the Lions. Good for him. I mean, he always seemed like he wanted to get back into the front office, so he used Monday Night Football to just keep himself in the media, keep himself relevant, and I think he's going to parlay this into one of those jobs. And kudos to him. Any thoughts on that?
I think it's. Yeah, definitely kudos to him. I'm glad they're actually acknowledging him now, giving him his interviews. But I just think the two teams are so bad. Well,
he always had interviews. He had an interview with the Giants. The Giants just kind of brushed him away for David Gettleman.
I just think this year he'll actually get a job, though. I think one of these teams is going to pick him up. I just think these two teams we listed, the Texans and Lions, are really bad places to go to start your GM, because this will be his first GM position. I mean, he played 7 years as a safety, and then he was a pro scout and director of personnel for Washington and the Eagles. So he has some front office experience, but to go to an organization like the Texans, who are run horribly,
he would have an uphill climb, but at least he does have Deshaun. So I don't know.
And then the Lions, the thing about the Lions, the ownership is good. It's just that the way they run the team is bad. Like the Ford family has been known as being like a good family and good people to work for. They just run that team really, really bad. But I mean, it's like a trap. It could be almost like a trap job. Like you give the black guy these two impossible tasks, watch him fail, and be like, "Nah, bro."
I told you not.
No, I think the Texans is the better of the job, because Bill O'Brien was so awful. At least you have that to fall back on.
Yeah, but they don't got any draft picks though.
Exactly. Yeah, but listen, man, I came in here with no draft pick. So at least if you were to fail there, you could be like, listen, my first year I have no draft picks. I have an excuse if I get fired in a couple years. with the Lions, it's just kind of a regular team. Like you got draft picks, you got moves that can be made. Give me the worst. Give me the worst. Give me the worst of the two with the better quarterback. Like I ain't got no draft picks, but I got a quarterback. So if this goes wrong, listen, when I came in here, the foundation was bad. Not my fault. The building fell down. Like that's how I would look at it.
About this building.
Exactly. Like, yo, I came in here with no draft picks. I just had Deshaun Watson and bad energy. That's what I had when I got here. So,
I probably would take the Texans job too over the Lions.
I agree.
I would take the Texans job because of the weather. And I think Houston is a better place to live than Detroit.
Yeah.
All right. Before we move on from football, our guest Spy had a taking a shot / hot take that he wanted to share with the world. Spy, the floor is yours. What do you have for us?
Before you guys want to give your takes, just let me just say the stats first.
Oh my God!
Oh, here we go.
This is Cam Newton's last year in the league. He will not be a starter next year, and he will not be on a roster next year either.
I can see that.
So because I see shit thinking, we're in what, week 15, right?
15.
Yeah.
How many passing touchdowns do you think he has so far?
5.
It's like
Correct,
low.
5.
Like it's
5.
real low.
I'm gonna say 4. 5. 5, yeah.
In the span of 3 weeks, he has the same amount of passing touchdowns as Colt McCoy. 1. So think about it. His last 2 games against the Chargers and the Cardinals, 165 passing yards combined. Like the jig is up. We've seen enough from Cam.
I don't. Oh man, this is tough.
I'm just saying. We was talking about the GM job. Sorry. So if you are all right, so the teams that need a coach are obviously the Texans, the Lions, the Jaguars, probably the Jets. What are you gonna do? Do you want Cam as a quarterback your first year?
Because I don't know an offense that you can create around Cam that will make it successful. I think they got lucky in Carolina those years when Cam was good. Yes, he was a MVP. Yes, he took him to the Super Bowl.
Well,
but Cam, he got hurt after that, and Cam has never been a great thrower.
No.
He throws the ball 100 miles an hour every pass.
One of the few guys with no touch.
No touch at all. He doesn't read defenses correctly. He's not the best guy that you want sitting back there in the pocket.
No.
I think he's an ultimate competitor, though. Cam is one of those guys like Tim Tebow. He really should have been a tight end. Like he should have been out there on the line, blocking, catching passes. I think that's where he could have made his bread and butter. But to have him back there doing that stuff, he had to know that his time was going to be limited at the quarterback position compared to a Drew Brees and Tom Brady. These guys who have touched, these guys who really understand the game and know how to play it. So I didn't think the Patriots should have got Cam this year, to tell you the truth. But they thought they could have did something with it.
Go ahead, Shiz. Go ahead.
I think you might be right because I don't think he's going to be a starter, and I don't think his.
You're not going to want to pay him to be a backup either.
Yeah, I don't think his pride would allow him to be a backup. So maybe you're right.
Because I'm gonna tell you,
but to say he's out of the league forever.
No, not forever. This is for next year.
Oh, just for next year. Okay, I'm on board. I thought you meant like this is Cam's last couple of games.
Yeah, it is. So if he's out next year and then he doesn't play next year, like he's not gonna get better in a year. He's just going to get older and slower.
Yeah, because at this point, it seems like that shoulder, that throwing motion is just permanent now. If it's not right now, it's never going to get right again. It seems like he does love football. Maybe if a team could convince him to play the Taysom Hill role, maybe he can be on the roster in that situation. But
no.
I don't know.
I don't think his pride let him do that. But anyhow, he'll be on a roster
next year.
Yeah, next year he'll be on a roster.
As a starter or a backup.
As a backup, at least to start the season.
What team though?
The Washington football team.
So all right,
keep Alex Smith.
Let's make a bet right now.
At worst case scenario, Ron Rivera will give him an opportunity to be on that team.
I don't
That
think-
would be
I think
that would be my take.
Yeah, but you would have to change your whole offense again for him, though.
No,
They have no offense.
They,
I would
exactly. What are you talking about?
I would rather have Dwayne Haskins over him.
No,
You-
hell no.
I'm talking about as a backup. I'm just saying. I'll keep Alex Smith.
What are you talking about? You put in
Done. Alex ain't coming back.
what's the other guy they put? What's his name? Kyle Allen.
Yeah,
or
Kyle
whatever?
Allen.
You put him in over
Kyle
Dwayne. I think Dwayne Haskins is gone.
They didn't give Dwayne a fair shot, man.
Hey, so why would you give him? So why didn't you give him a fair shot next year?
He's cheap. He's cheap on the low. That's why.
Trash.
So is Cam.
Right, so-
Cam will pay for it. He already did it. He's already you already devalued yourself.
Yeah. So let's do this. Let's make the bet. Mo, you said he'll be on a team
on the team
the beginning of the year.
beginning of the year.
The beginning of the year. All right. So I'm taking it that he is not on the team the beginning of the year.
Okay.
All right, how much
You said
how much we betting? 500?
We better that too. What we got?
You know I'm a shot bet type of guy. That's all my bets are shot bets.
All right.
I'm not gonna lie.
Let me say this because you said right.
I remember
Washington needs the team. Why not go James Winston?
Jacks.
Who?
James Winston.
Because it's Ron Rivera. It's the head coach.
Ron knows Newton is done.
Why would he know Newton is done? He kept him on the team.
He had no choice.
What do you mean he had no choice?
That's why he got fired.
Yeah.
So he was loyal to. So wait a second. He got fired.
To a guy
He got. So this. I'm gonna say what you said. He was loyal to Cam Newton, right?
Yeah.
He was loyal to him, and he was so loyal that he lost his job.
I said he had no choice. That's what I said because of the contract. Every year they kept he got hurt. Got to give him another year. I mean, like we know what he is.
But that's what I'm saying.
We know what he is.
But why would you be so loyal to someone that you lose your job?
He didn't have a choice, though.
He did have a choice. He could have put, hey, if we don't start winning, I'm about to lose my job. I'm not about to keep you in and lose my job. That's stupid.
He didn't got another job.
But that's what I'm saying. He's loyal. He's so loyal to. So he kept Cam Newton in because he believed in Cam Newton. I'll leave it at that. That got him fired.
He's
so
leaving
now,
just to take notes.
So now he wouldn't give him a chance to come in and be a backup on probably the lowliest franchise in the league right now with no name.
I think the money is going to be the issue, though. I think Cam's going to want too much money.
Nah, he might sign for a minimum at this point.
Yeah, you've already took if you already take the minimum, you can't be like.
Oh, he took the minimum to go to the Patriots?
Yeah, he took whatever they get, they didn't have much money for him.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know they didn't give him.
They gave him like I think like $2 million, something low.
Yeah.
Let me
so there's no way that you can say, hey man, you're offending me by offering me $3 million. Like, bro, they gave you $2 million last year. I'm giving you so I think he would take it. I think he's on the team.
Oh shit! No, he signed for 1 3/4.
Yeah,
it was low.
That's what I'm saying. So I think he'll be on the team because he'll get a chance. He'll get a chance from Ron. Ron will keep him.
This is gonna happen. Ron will give him a chance, and he'll go in there and he will, competitive wise, be better than those quarterbacks he has right now, unless they go out and draft somebody. Because I don't think Alex Smith is going to come back. I think that leg is just too messed up.
I think if he's healthy enough, he's coming back. He loves the game because like his leg was almost cut off, and he's like, you know what, I'm back. And he's projected to start again this week after injuring that leg. So
I think he did it to prove something to himself that he can still play the game. And listen, Alex, you can play it. Sit your ass down before you play. Like you gotta chill. He should
have been set down. Like he should. I wanted him to come out, take one knee, and get off the field. And
That's it. I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, I understand it. But yeah, if Kim goes into camp with the guys that got on the roster right now, I think he can probably win that starting job. So
it's not about him winning the starting job, which he can. It's the fact that he just can't perform to win.
Yeah, because the Washington has nobody good on their quarterback roster. Are
you sure that if Alex Smith comes back, are you sure Cam just beats him for the job?
Yeah, because he's more mobile. He can.
I don't
He
think
can save himself.
I don't think he just. I don't think he just beats him for the job because Cam has no touch. Like he can't. He can throw it a mile, but he can't
It's
throw.
all 100 miles an hour.
Yeah,
Like a 5-yard pass at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, like just having yo, I need you to hit this 5-yard in. Like, like I need you to hit that. Like I need that throw, and he can't make it.
Yeah, his accuracy is atrocious. But all right, round of applause for football. All right, moving on to the NBA. The preseason has started. You know, teams are getting into gear. The season starts on the 22nd, and it appears that a player is not in shape, and that is James Harden. He's out there looking like Ricky Rose. He looks like he's put on about 20 pounds. The big question is he going to remain with the Rockets? Or is he going to get traded? I guess it's a good sign that he has, reported to the team. He's playing in preseason games. That's a good first step. It appears that, he still wants out. There's rumors of him, wanting to go to the Nets or the Sixers or the Bucks or the Heat. And in my opinion, I'm just not sure if any of those teams are going to make it happen because, you're going to have to literally gut your roster to get him. The Heat, if they wanted to make a trade, they would have to probably, just to make the money match up, they would have to probably include Bam, Hero, Robinson, everybody, all their role players that played a big role. Huh?
Houston said they're not giving up Hero.
The Heat.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So we already have a problem. So Bam, who you just gave a big contract to, who has a lot of potential, do you include him? To make the money match up, you're gonna have to either include him. I don't know if the Rockets would want Dragic. He's older, and even though he did just get paid, so I don't know if it works with the Heat. And then with the Sixers, they're going to want Ben Simmons. I'm not sure if they want to do that. With the Nets, they're going to want Kyrie. With the Bucks, maybe you could do something like Middleton and Lopez. It just doesn't seem like it's going to work with no matter where he goes. And in my opinion, James, he needs a couple things. He needs a firm coach, and he also needs a player on the team that's clearly better than him. So if he goes to the Sixers, he's like, "Yo, Joel, I'm better than you." Or if he goes to the Heat, he could say to Jimmy, like, "Yo, I'm better than you."
Jimmy might punch him in the face though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that would be an absolutely horrible tandem because Jimmy don't play them games anyway. So who's left? Durant and Harden. I don't think he can get to the Lakers.
I don't think Durant likes Harden as a basketball player. I think they're friends, but on the court, I don't think he likes him.
Do you send Harden to the Clippers for Paul George? And I just don't see how a trade gets done. I'm sure there's another team out there that we're not talking about that may pull some, maybe like Denver, somebody pull something out of their ass or whatever. But in my opinion, I just don't see how it gets done, and I think he may be staying in Houston for the time being. Snell, I'll go to you. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, unless something out of this world happens, I do think he gets traded just because it's just it's just the NBA and it's just how it works. If the star wants out, they usually get out. But yeah, any place that he would want to go, he probably can't go because they're not gonna give up what you want to get him. So if he wanted to go to the Suns or something like that, they make him find a way and give up a bunch of weird things. He has to go to if he gets traded, he's going somewhere he doesn't want to go because those are the teams that have the assets to give to the Rockets that it makes sense.
Yeah, that's It's not going to be one of those contenders. It's going to be a team he doesn't want to go to. But Taheem, your thoughts?
Yeah, man, this whole Harden thing is crazy, but I think this is what you get when you give a player too much power. There's a lot of stuff that came out about the Houston Rockets where James Harden was basically running the Houston Rockets. They were doing special things for him that they weren't doing for other players, and it's probably given him this sense of empowerment where he thinks that he can do that any other team he goes going to go to, and there's great teams that he goes to, and it's not going to be able to happen like that. And then Harden he's a good player, but he's like a black hole. Like you can't win a championship with him, especially the way that he plays basketball. Teams know that. People know that. So people aren't going to be out there willing to give up the pieces that the Houston Rockets want, for that trade. So does he get out? Yeah, he probably gets out, but he's not going to go. He might not go anywhere he wants to go. And I think we have to, not we, because I'm not an owner or a GM, but I think they have to stop catering to the players. Like you signed up, you signed a contract. So what we do with your rights to you playing is up to us because you signed that contract. So if they wanted to send him to the Knicks for 3 dirty towels, then there you go. You're going to the Knicks for 3 dirty towels and you have nothing to say about it. I mean, you can say something about it, but that's where you're going to go. I don't think players should be able to demand their way out of teams and go where they want to go. Because, he was saying, oh, all right, well, if I can't go to these places, I'll go to this place. It's no, you'll go to Siberia if we tell you. If we sign you to a Siberian team, that's where you're going to go. That's how I feel about it.
All right, Spy, your thoughts.
Yeah, I agree with all you guys. There's no contender that's going to give up their main pieces for Harden when his basically the offensive game is just iso ball, which won't help them win the game. We saw it with the Clippers. The Clippers against Denver played iso ball and they lost.
Yep.
There's no team out there, and if there is, it's going to be a team that's not a contender at all, like the Knicks.
Hey, bring them in. Like we're at the opposite end of the spectrum where we're completely building this thing from the ground up. So if we can get Harden, bring him in immediately. But all right, moving on. The Nets. Kevin Durant played in his first preseason game. He looked pretty good. Kyrie Irving looked pretty good. I think the sky's the limit for this team. I think as long as they're healthy, they should be able to win the East. And quite frankly, they might be the only team that can really run with the Lakers. I think the Lakers are going to be really tough to beat. And it's going to take somebody like Kevin Durant at 95% to match up against LeBron and, Anthony Davis and, Kyrie playing at a high level. And their core, like Dinwiddie and LeVert, they got a nice team. So if they can stay healthy, and gel quick, they should win the East. So I think, what they can do is win a championship this season. But a lot of factors have to go into that. Spy, your thoughts?
It all comes down to Kyrie, to be honest with you. If he's healthy and I love Kyrie because he's a Duke player, but he's just a fucking idiot, man. I'm sorry.
I say, yeah, Mo was talking about Kyrie is something else.
Man, I don't have any words.
That Duke education, man.
Nah, man,
went to a couple classes. It changed his life.
He was at Duke for a cup of coffee, man. He ain't even finished. He ain't finished one course.
I think this whole Kyrie calling and the media pawns on stuff. It's like if Kyrie just sticks to basketball and just listens to Durant and stays healthy, they can go places. But if Kyrie's sitting there just getting hurt, just talking like the earth is flat and saying stupid shit, then they're not going anywhere at all, man. They have the pieces, like I said, LeVert. Didn't Harris resign there too? Yeah, so they have the pieces there, and they can easily win the East. But it all comes down to Kyrie and his mindset.
Yeah, Taheem, your thoughts?
Yeah, same thing, man. But I really think Kyrie is going to get in the way of all that. I think something's going to happen, and he's just going to be in the media talking. And Durant's skin isn't as tough as it needs to be. He's going to be in that East Coast media all the time now. Kyrie is going to be in it. Kyrie's going to be talking crazy. Durant might misinterpret something that Kyrie says, or something like that. I don't think the chemistry is going to work for a full season.
All right, Chanel, your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know. Like even if they're good, but I think even so, they still might need something else to beat the Lakers, man. If that were the case, so they still might need, even though they have all those pieces, they still might need something else to beat the Lakers. So they still may have to make a move with that roster. I think. I don't think the roster that they have now is enough.
What do you think they need?
I think they need a legitimate third option over somebody I have, like, I'm not saying a superstar, but they need a legitimate like Tobias Harris. Like, you need somebody legitimate to balance out when you get to the Lakers of, hey, all right, we got this, we got that, but we have a huge advantage, like right in this at this one position. So I think they need one more legitimate guy. Everybody else is like, yeah, LeVert may come to play. They have the size to just be like, hey, just guard Anthony Davis. We don't need you to score, but you need that. You need one extra guy, I think, to kind of overcome that. So,
all right, moving on.
I think they're not done. So,
all right, moving on. The Warriors. I've been watching them in the preseason. Steph looks like he's he's ready for the season to start. Of course, they lost Clay, and they brought in Kelly Oubre. Draymond and Wiseman, they have COVID, so they're probably going to miss the very beginning of the season. I think this team. I mean, I a few weeks ago, maybe even a month ago, I said that this team might be tanking again if they get off to a rocky start. But I don't know. It seems like Steph is motivated to play, and if that's the case and they can stay healthy, I could see them being like a 4 or 5 seed, something along those lines. And I don't see them being like a championship team, but I can definitely see them, being a 4 or 5 seed, winning a round, maybe 2, more than likely just 1 round, and just stay in the course until Clay gets back, and then really, really be in position to go after a championship. Any thoughts on the Warriors from anybody?
I think they make the playoffs, but I think they make the playoffs and they're like one of the later of the the latter of the teams, maybe like 7 or 8, 6. I don't think they get all the way up to 4. Yeah, that's how I see it.
they'll be competitive. They'll be competitive. I think they'll be. They won't. It won't be like last year. I think they'll be competitive. But they'll just be like they won't have somebody that can guard a guard, and they'll get beat. So yeah, maybe like you said, like the 6th seed or something like that.
Yeah, I really like the Kelly Oubre pickup. I think they will be competitive. It all depends on how James Wiseman and Draymond works together. But I agree, probably like the 5th seed.
All right, and to close out the NBA, Greek Freak, he decided to stay in Milwaukee. He signed a 5-year, $228 million extension. I understand, but it's a big career move for him because it's going to be hard to recruit players to go to Milwaukee. Trading them is one thing. Getting free agents to go there is another. Currently constructed, I don't think they're a championship team. They still need they need another piece. I do think they're better with Drew Holiday. Middleton, I think he's probably best suited as like a 3rd option. And then, of course, Greek Freak is the 1st. But still, big move for like Milwaukee. Just a big move for their economy. Like, yo, we got Greek Freak for another 5 years. So kudos to them. Kudos to a small market in the NBA being able to keep their player. And we'll see what happens. It's a legacy gamble because you go 5 years and not win a championship. Now you're way older and you might be going towards the end of your prime then. So it's a huge risky move, but props to him to stay loyal. You don't really see that too much in these days. And best of luck. Taheem, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, man, it's the ultimate loyalty move because, like you said, it's nothing. I've never been to Milwaukee. I don't imagine there's a lot of things to do out there in Milwaukee, but to look at reindeer. So I don't see reindeer. That's not on my trips and destinations to go. It's going to be hard to get people to come out there. And like she said, the way that the team is constructed right now, they're not going to win a championship like that. They don't have enough pieces. I think that Chris Middleton actually hurts them because they paid him so much, but he didn't step up. He's getting paid like he's the 2nd option, but he's more like she said, the 3rd option. So
yeah. I just think one thing I do think is that maybe it's just like the overseas mentality. Like when they like, yo, I'm loyal. Like they in America, it just seems like more about
the money and betting on your brand.
Yeah, your branding and flexibility and things like that. With overseas cats, it's just like, yo, we made it to the top. They gave me a shot. I'm gonna give them my all for my whole life. Like that's how Greek Freak is thinking. But again, props to him.
And that's a great mentality to have. I wish more people had that mentality.
Listen, man, they coming from countries that ain't got running water, man. They
from Greece.
Listen, man. Yeah, but he was you saying it like he's in Santorini, like he ain't from a resort. You know what I mean? Like he ain't from Mykonos. He's still from poverty out in Greece. You know what I mean? Like
no. Greece isn't like a damn, I don't want to say it and sound real bad. No, Greece is not what you think it is. Let me put it like that. Like the whole time. I'm not even saying he's from poverty. I'm just saying even him coming from Greece. It wasn't like he's coming from Greece and his family's like wealthy in Greece. Yeah.
I'm saying that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they still needed basketball as like this is our way out. I'll say it that way. And then the running water is a plus.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Spy, any thoughts?
No, yeah, I agree. They had to because he was their star. You know, when he was a rookie, he used to just like run to the stadium because he was sending money overseas to, like Snell said, his poverty family. They needed water.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm sending money. I'm in the NBA. I'm sending money. Like, yo, just move your family. Like, what are y'all doing?
And then people will literally like pick him up and just drive him to the marina. So they had to take care of him because if not, they would get nobody.
Yeah,
he's a top 5 player, even though I heard somebody said he's ass.
Oh yeah, Tahib, do you want to elaborate on that? Like, do you like?
Oh yeah, listen, bro, he's ass. Right? Don't ask me how. Don't ask me why. But I'm telling you, as the GM of my fantasy basketball team, if he's on the board I got number 3. If he's on the board at number 3, which I don't think he'll be, I'm not taking him.
You should be banned from talking basketball.
All right. Anything else left? All right. Round of applause for basketball. All right, moving on. Joe Biden electoral college victory has been confirmed.
Come on, man.
Trump is still not leaving until Memorial Day.
Shit's his favorite person.
I just think it's comedy. Like he's still tweeting like he won. He won by a landslide
because people still believe him. That's the sad thing.
It's at this point, like it's just sad. I you know what? It's not sad. I think it's just comedy that he's going out this way, and at this point, like I've kind of like he sues somebody every single day. He loses. And at the end of the day, come next month, Biden's in the White. He's going to be the president, and that's really all I got.
So you got to ask yourself, like he is fighting tooth and nail to stay in the White House. Why? You know, like why? I think it's because as soon as he leaves,
the lawsuit
trying to indict his ass.
Yeah.
He is going to jail. He's going to sit there with the Nation of Islam in Tyrone. And they're gonna show him how to make Smack Jack Mac.
Man. Spy Snell, any thoughts on this?
I mean, you said it all basically.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right.
How did we come to this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did we get here? Just lose with grace.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. I didn't see this story. Tahib, do you care to elaborate on what Farrakhan said?
Minister Louis Farrakhan.
He's a wild guy.
One of your idols, your mentors, said that the corona vaccine is basically going to be free toxic waste that they're putting in the bodies of the black man and the black women and the black children to further underdevelop their minds and keep them locked down in mental shackles and not let them grow and be contributing people in society. That's what he said.
You're smoking crack.
I didn't say that. I did not say those words. Those are the words that Louis Farrakhan said. And shout out to Charles's father, Pop. But when you think about it, they look identical. They look like twins.
Man.
We used to always call him that, and he used to always get pissed off. But it was hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, to call it toxic waste is a bit much. as explained last week, I'm not taking the first one, but once they refine it, get it up to like 97, 98%.
Brisk wants that free toxic waste in his body.
Yeah, Brisk is going to be first in line according to what he said last week, and I'll keep him in prayer because I ain't getting it first.
He said he wants to the buttocks because it gets the body faster. He doesn't want where you kick the nose. He said he wants the one in the butt so he gets into his body faster so he can travel. That's what he said.
Yeah. All right, round of Spy. You got any thoughts on Farrakhan?
Nah, man, I'm not in the toxic waste business. So.
All right. Yeah. I'm not even gonna round of applause. That's just crazy talk. But
I was on boxing looking at the forums and I saw his face and I was like, yo, what is this guy talking about?
Yeah.
And News had it on there.
All right, moving on to music. So 2020 has come near the end, and we had some hip hop albums drop. I overall, like going back to what my favorite ones were, it was kind of like a weak year. Like none of the big dogs dropped. Like we didn't get no Cole album, we didn't get a Kendrick album. Like so it was kind of like
So but that's like big dogs to you though.
It's big dogs to everybody.
I don't know. No, the fuck it's not.
Okay. So yeah, I have my list of my top 5 albums of the year. So I'm gonna kick it off. Number 5, this actually just came out. Great album, though.
Busta Rhymes?
No, Man on the Moon 3, Kid Cudi. I listened to that nonstop last week. I didn't even know it was coming out. And once I saw it drop, I was like, oh, Kid Cudi's out. And it restored that feeling like back in like the the early 2000s when he first started making music. He still has it. And I like like I said, it's a weak year for albums in my opinion. I enjoyed it a lot. So this is my number 5. Number 4, Burden of Proof by Benny the Butcher. I thought it was a good album. Of course he's going to bring the bars. I thought the production was interesting. Not the greatest, not the worst, but I thought it was a well-constructed album. So that's number 4 for me. Number 3, King Disease by Nas. This is Nas's 444. He still has good rapping ability. The production was good. Hit Boy had a good year. Hit Boy had a lot to do with a couple albums on this list. But I thought this was Nas's best album since like Godson, which has been like almost like 10, 15 years. So that was my number 3. Number 2, Alfredo by Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist. I wasn't a fan of Freddie. We've had this discussion many a times, but this album I thought together with Alchemist, he really put forth a good quality production and album here. Thoroughly enjoyed this. I listened to this many a times over the year. So that was my number 2. And number 1, this should be the Grammy winner. Is Pray for Paris by West Side Gun. This is another Alchemist had a lot to do with this album. Start to finish, great music, rapping, concept songs, storytelling, overall great body of work. So this is my number 1 album. Pray for Paris, West Side Gun, and that's my 5. Snell, I'll go to you. What is your top 5, sir?
I think like you, I didn't really. I think it's a down year for albums. Also, I don't run and listen to music extra early as soon as it comes out. So I haven't even listened to that Kid Cudi yet. But I'm glad I have heard good things, which means we're off to a good start because I haven't heard too many bad things to go around. So for 5. I'll go with, like you said, I'll go with Nas, King Disease, probably one of the better projects Nas has done in a really long time. I'm trying to think of what's the last Nas album I look for. I can't even really think of the last Nas album I look forward to. What was the last one? What was it in? Was the last one? What was his last album?
I have no idea. It's been a while since I enjoyed the Nas album.
Yeah, it's been so okay. Yeah, so that would be 5. Then Burden of Proof from Benny the Butcher. That'd be my 4. I like the album. I thought Benny did enough already that he could have put out like more commercial songs or something to get him more mainstream. That's kind of what I thought would be coming. But this was still a little mixtape-ish to me in some ways. And not so much an album as far as, hey, I have a radio single to go off of XYZ. But good album, Benny the Butcher, you can't really go wrong. Number 3, I got Pray for Paris. Again, you can't really go wrong with that album. The concepts, just everything, just the way the whole album is put together. You can just listen. I can just listen to that just on repeat over and over and over and over and over again. That's probably that's really, I could see that, like you said, I could see that winning the Grammy. Then of course at 2, I got my man Freddie Gibbs. Shiz, you have finally woken up, put your ear to the street, start listening to some real music, and
Rhymes and Dipset.
Yeah, get my man. I really want my man Freddie to win this Grammy because that would be crazy. That would just be amazing if my man Freddie could win this Grammy. So that's my Grammy hopeful, and that's what I want to win. But I think the best album is still, I've been saying it, Big Sean, Detroit.
Oh, no,
that's my album.
Listen to that. I don't think I ever will.
That is my album of the year by far. I still to this day I don't really like Big Sean, nor do I go out and seek his music or seek anything that he does. But I will give him credit and say this is the best album of the year.
All right, Taheem, you're up next.
All right, so I'm gonna give y'all a little some real music.
No, here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
You gonna say Bad Bunny?
I mean, I did put out a good album, but that's way over you guys. You guys can't speak one language.
And don't say no R&B albums either. I'm
not gonna say fucking R&B albums. I'll listen to R&B. So at number 5, we're gonna go Boldy James, the Prince of Tea in China.
Okay.
I start listening to Boldy this year. Like he goes hard.
He's good.
I really like Boldy. And then we're gonna go number 4. We're gonna go Who Made the Sunshine.
Okay.
All right. I feel like this is gonna be a heavy. This is gonna be Griselda top 5. But go ahead.
Nah.
So wait, you like that one over Pray for Paris? Okay.
And then we're going to go number 3, Rock Marcialago.
Okay.
And then we're going to go number 2, Rock Marciano, Marcy. And then we got to go number 1, good old Freddie Gibbs, man.
Okay.
Alfredo. The Grammy. I'm telling you, Alfredo gonna win this Grammy.
He just, it's something about his music, like when he's putting it out. I mean, listen to it. He's just good. He's just fucking good, man.
All right, Spy, your top 5, sir.
This shit is gonna be hilarious. Get your sodas and beers.
Yeah, I got my pen and paper because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be an album I never heard of before.
No, it's actually similar to all you guys. Well, one, I don't have Big Sean on there, so that's just out of there. I'll do it's not in particular, but my number 1 album is Freddie Gibbs. That is by far, I think, his best album right there. Nas, Benny the Butcher. I haven't even listened to Kid Cudi yet. I'm like Snell, but I did see a lot of good things about it.
It's good. I think you guys will like it, especially if you like the old Cudi.
Yeah. What was Kid Cudi album before this one?
Man on the Moon 2, I think.
No,
he had one in between that.
Yeah,
he kind of like lost his way, and I kind of like stopped listening to him.
Oh, you talking about the 7-song joint with Kanye?
He had that. No, he had another. He had something else. He had What is it? Yeah, this will be another. He might have lost his way.
Yeah, he lost his way for like almost like 8 years. Like
that Indicud, like there, that's when that wasn't it.
Yeah, Kids See Ghosts, like
Kitty presents something.
speeding bullet to heaven. Like
Yeah,
he was lost for a little bit.
Yeah,
he was lost for a little bit. So when I saw the name Man on the Moon 3, I was like, okay, all right, let's get back to the basics, and that's what he did. All right, but Spy, continue.
Actually, you might laugh at this. I actually kind of enjoyed Pop Smoke album. It wasn't like it was okay. Like I agree with you, Shiz. Like this year we didn't get a lot of heavy hitters that we expected. Like I was really looking for a Kendrick Lamar album, but I guess I'm gonna still be looking for that. So
man, like I think you can only listen to Pop Smoke like one song, because that one song is kind of like the same track. Like it's just an album of one song, I feel like.
Yeah, kind of. And he actually Cudi has a song featuring Pop Smoke, and it sounds exactly like what a Pop Smoke song would sound like. Yeah. So it was just like, yo, he literally had his own sound.
Yeah, he had his own style, own lane. Like it's not anything.
My thing was when I heard that album, because I didn't. By the time I heard the album, as everybody heard the album, he passed away. But at that point, it wasn't really like I could critique his music, because it's like he's gone. So it's not like, you know what I mean? Like it's just kind of like, oh, you got to.
It's gonna change. It's not like it's gonna.
Yeah,
like it is what it is. It's like a timepiece, like
Yeah. It's not like I'm like, oh, this is trash. Like I'm gonna just wait for the next. You gotta give me something better than this. And I was like, nah, this is it. Like this is what you gotta. You know what I mean? Like you gotta take this and re-listen to it. So I don't know. I listened to it, but I didn't really like critique it, because it's not like, I'm not gonna be like, this man's dead. Like I can't be like, this is awful. So
all right. So Spy, that was your. Did you have one more, or that was your 5?
That was my 5.
Okay.
I just want to give an honorable mention to that Black Thought. Black Thought.
No.
Yo, man. Black Thought, man.
Yeah, the human mind is not made to consume an entire Black Thought or Petey Crack album.
I was at the end of that.
It's too much, man.
It's too many bars.
It's just too. It's too much for the mind. Like, you can't consume it.
Yeah. All right. So round of applause to hip hop. I'm surprised. I thought Spy was gonna have like a little Megan Thee Stallion album in there. So.
If you said that, I was getting up.
All right. So that was episode 111 in the books. You can find us on social media. We are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can find us at Second and One Podcast. We're also our YouTube channel, Second and One Podcast. And also, if you want to email us to be on the show, you want to send us some merch, you want to send us money. Merry Christmas. Info at secondandone.com. And moving on. NFL is kicking into the last quarter of the season. Teams making their playoff push, and we'll see what happens. Bucks are in it, the Titans are in it, Cowboys out, 49ers out. So it is what it is. Any closing remarks, fellas? This was a good one.
Yeah. So speaking of the holiday season, and it is holidays, COVID has really messed the world up. People aren't able to, like, some people lost their jobs, some people aren't working as many hours, whatever like that. But there's a thing in Long Branch called family meal kits, where people can drive up and they get these meal kits. So us here at the podcast, we're going to donate some money to this organization so that it can help more families, especially during the holidays, because I wanted to get out and actually, volunteer physically, but you can't now because of COVID and stuff like that. So if you're out there and you're trying to find different ways to volunteer, at this point, you might just have to give a couple dollars to, a local organization or something like that. you got to think about COVID and its effects on people, their children, their home lives, and everything like that. We had a crazy political time period over like that, but now we're in the holidays and we got to really look out for each other as much as possible. So with that being said, man, just try to help out your local community as much as possible. So somebody might be in need of something and they might be too prideful to say it, so you got to kind of find another way, another avenue to help them out. So
all right, round of applause. All right, any remarks, Spy, Snell? No, that's it.
Stay safe.
Stay safe. Spy, stay away from them Gators. It was great having you on.
Put your mask on, man.
Yeah, put your mask on, man. I know you're I know you're a Floridian now, but you still have your roots from New Jersey.
I always wear my mask, right? Stay out of Walmart.
Hey, man. Walmart is my corner store. Y'all gotta understand that.
Listen, man. That's
my corner store.
Like that Walmart's the epicenter of COVID, man.
Yeah. But all right, if there's nothing else, thank you guys for listening. This is the Second One Podcast, and we'll get with you guys next time.